Hi. Well, it seems Charlamagne, who calls himself Charlamagne I can't even say the other word, I'm going to call him the Grapper, has been outed by a family who claims, and it seems they have the papers to back it up, that Charlamagne fraudulently got a 15-year-old girl and her friend to a party, and in a Bill Cosby-like manner gave them knockout stuff in drinks that they urged them repeatedly to drink down, and then when they became too weak to move and mentally foggy, one girl was assaulted first by two of Charlamagne's friends, and then Charlamagne gained control of the girl and began doing things to her on who knows what. But she was very, very out of it. She was unable to control her body. She was trying to get away from him. The other girl said she heard screaming and yelling, and she came up to try to see what was going on, but of course she had also been drugged by Charlamagne, and when she got into the room where this girl was screaming and yelling, she saw Charlamagne on the girl, and the girl was naked on a bed, and as she came in to see what was going on, she said the scene was horrendous, and Charlamagne left the room and pulled up his pants. The whole story is very, very bad, but amazingly, Charlamagne has even stated this story on one of his interviews on, I guess it was the Breakfast Club or someplace he was interviewed. I saw it on YouTube, and I mean, it's just really, really sad. He got away with it because the girl's mother was a single mother, and she had been assured by Charlamagne that he was a good guy, and he and his friends were good guys, and they were going to take care of the girl. They were going to befriend her and be nice. And Charlamagne was about in his 20s, I guess around 22, and the girl was around 15 at this particular instance. But it seems that Charlamagne has had many other incidents like this, and he even documents them himself on YouTube. And I'm going to play those for you in just a second.
That's what do you think about Charlamagne? What do you think
and this is a man asking his little boy what he thinks of Charlamagne.
Funny?
On 105.1.
Yes, I didn't know. Long.
So is your penis. Wait a few years. And it look like your father's head. Michael Blackson and insecurity is the breakfast.
That's what Charlamagne said to these two little boys.
Yeah, that guy right there. It's the Breakfast Club. It's J-Lo.
Thank you, guys.
J-Lo just left.
And now Charlamagne is sniffing the chair that J-Lo sat in.
Never fails. What's up? Let's move on from your meat. Let's talk about you in those gray sweatpants. There's a lot of women out there that want to know. You know what I'm about? Was that all you? Of course. That's a wild question for me to be asking.
At the end of the tour, she got us all iPods.
See, and y'all at the age when y'all can sneak in her dressing room when she's getting dressed and she wouldn't trip. You know what I'm saying? They can see her naked and they wouldn't trip. It's like, oh, it's just them. She get dressed in front of y'all.
Hide in the closet, pop out. Yes. I have to say I'm disgusted at how Charlamagne. You know what? He's 14 years old. I'm done with you, okay?
I'm looking for something. Are you a registered sex offender? Nah, I'm not. But I need you. Nah, I'm not. You could actually look it up. You got a computer right there. Yeah, I did. That's why I asked. Because you can't believe nothing you see in there. That's what I'm asking you.
You're fresh out of college.
You can't talk about hamsters after you're talking about your butt. Like, I got $6. Can I see what that mouth is over $6? How much you got in there? $26.
No.
You let me in if you're on a train on you right now.
You can buy me a drink for $26.
Well. So we slip something in your drink, then take advantage.
Depends on how fly you are.
Oh, okay.
If
Somebody
you
bring a
can
drink.
manage it. Who's got the room?
I would definitely suck a fart out your butt.
Really? What's with the fart thing, though?
It's like a bong hit. I want a fart out your butt.
What?
I want you to hear how I'm going to put that in the song. I haven't helped to hear you sing.
What?
No, know how the guy suck a fart out your butt, Jim?
That is gross.
No, I'm not gonna say that. Like, he sucked the fart out your butt a certain way that you just can't get over. I do use toys. It's not on myself.
Okay, so
I'm in the bondage and stuff like that. S&M.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Guiding girls, handcuffing them, tying their legs. You know what I'm saying?
That's the type of stuff.
We lock them in there.
Oh, my
Pulling them
God.
up in front of the air conditioner.
You're doing the most.
Yeah.
Really?
Choking them. That kind of stuff. Swings and all that.
Sounds like a rapist, doesn't it? Yeah. Sounds
rape
about
someone, sir. It's not rape if you're married.
Yes, it is actually, Charlamagne.
No, it's not. How can you prove it?
Yeah.
So you can hear, those are Charlamagne during some of his interviews with women and children on his radio station, and so you can imagine if that's what he does in public, that it's much, much worse in private. And he escaped going to jail and becoming a registered sex offender back when he was in his 20s because the girl's mother did not want the girl to have to testify to all of the stuff that happened to her when she was being abused by Charlamagne. And the girl was traumatically injured, mentally injured by what had happened to her. And even as an adult, the video I saw, she is still heavily scarred by the incident, and it was very sad to watch. And to think that he continued doing that to who knows how many people, children, is just breaks my heart. And so I think it's time for Charlamagne to go. I think it's time for him to have these records reopened and reinvestigated and have a calling to see how many people feel they were involved in some of these escapades of Charlamagne and his friends. I think it's time to have his friends identify those people who do this stuff with him, because they also are spreading this type of perverted behavior along to many children and who knows where. And it's just sad. And if the country does nothing and allows this stuff to continue, we're going to see more and more of this type of behavior. And the people who are leading us, the people who are trying to become our leaders, going more into childhood assault, selling children, abusing children, even killing children. And we can't have this happen. And so I think it's time for Charlamagne to go. I think it's time to open up the records. I think it's time for a full investigation as to who all is involved in this sort of behavior that can be found out through Charlamagne. And I think it's time to help these children who are reliving this all the time. And the mother said, the mother of the girl who was violated said, it's even worse because Charlamagne brags about it all the time on the radio. So not only does the girl relive it, but she has somebody on the radio who is bragging about this abusive behavior, and no one seems to care about the girl, her feelings, or what happened to her. And I think that's just horrible. I remember when I first heard of the Breakfast Club, and I listened a few times, and I had to stop listening because Charlamagne was so vile. The stuff he would say to people, the stuff that he did, that he would talk about, was so vile, I couldn't even listen to it on the internet. As Charlamagne seemed to gain some popularity in recent years, he tries to clean up his act, but I know who he is from listening to him for so many years. And I think it's a shame that he can now try to put on this mask and say he's a helper of people. I don't think anyone would trust their child with Charlamagne, and I don't think anyone wants Charlamagne in the vicinity of their children to even speak. Yet I saw him giving a commencement speech, I believe in South Carolina. What a horrible thing for people who've gone through 4 years of college and hopefully have learned some sort of ethics and morals and humanization, and then to have their commencement speaker be a person who has, well, let's just say it, raped children, violated them over and over again, who knows how many, and this is the person they hold up as the person they want to hear from at their commencement. Sickening.